Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Meezy69, and we are back with the T62A. Now, I don't think I have ever done a review on the T62A in the few years that I've been YouTubing. I have done a few videos on it, but never actually a review. So I've been getting sent quite a few T62 replays, so I thought now is the best time to do one. So we do have 3 battles today, 2 from my good friend Sebastian, which the Mastercom, and 1 from myself. But the T62A, it's now really popular. But why is it so popular? Now, a few years ago, it was all about the 140. No one really ever wanted the T62A. It was all about the 140. But what has changed since them days? So the mediums in tier 10 got a nerf with the penetration, DPM, etc. But since then, the Object 140 has been buffed. So it had accuracy buff, aim time buff, I think. So now, even though it's a Russian tank, the accuracy is one of the best in tier 10. Apart from the 121, which is the Chinese medium, which is insane at less than 0.91 in fact. So the aim time on the T62A is fantastic for a Russian tank. It's amazing. On top of that, it has the highest DPM of mediums in the game. Well, in tier 10 at least, 3591, which is exactly the same as the 140. But the penetration is slightly better than the 140 at 245. Alpha is 310, rate of fire 11.58, reload 5.18, shell velocity 1535. So all of them are basic, they're all the same as the 140. But the aim time 1.36, whereas the Object 140 is 1.81. Gun depression 5 degrees, however, is slightly worse than the 140. The 140 has 6 degrees. So speed slightly worse than the 140 at 50. 140 has 55, but nothing really to write home about. And even going as far as the credit coefficient, 85% on the T62A, whereas the Object 140 is 78%. So quite a big difference between credit earnings between the both tanks. Now, people never really look at that, and to be honest, I've never even noticed that in just now while I was looking down. That's the only time I've ever actually noticed that. So whole armor is 102, again slightly better than the 140, but then the side and the rear is slightly worse than the 140. The turret armor at 240 on the front is exactly the same, however on the side is 161, again slightly or quite a bit worse than the 140. But this tank is literally all about the accuracy. It's amazing, it really is amazing. So 1.36, and no, that's the aim time, sorry, accuracy 0.272. Now the reason I love the Leopard 1 so much is because it's got a laser gun. The speed, the accuracy, now this is exactly the same. The accuracy is exactly the same on this compared to the Leopard 1, which is crazy because it's Russian. You know the saying, the Russian accuracy, not for this tank, not for this tank at all. But we're going to go and get straight into it. So we do have 3 battles for you today. The first one will be from myself, and then we have 2 battles from Mastercom. So let's get straight into those battles. So the first battle, it is myself, and you can see my good friend Goose on the enemy team. So we have 2 mediums where the enemy has 2 and a light tank. Now we are going to change our mind where we're going to go. I was going to pop up into the middle spot where most people go, but I see the majority of my team pushing left, so I decided to go that way, and I really relocate. So I changed my mind, and to be fair, that could have been a match-winning decision. Now, usually I wouldn't even look. I'll just go straight up the middle, spot, and we can see what we do. But you can see I've decided to come around, and now we got some free shots into the side of the tanks that are also in the middle. So we've already got 600 damage without getting any damage in return. One of our tanks, the 263, is now dead. The Death Star has literally completely taken him out. And now we've got a bat chat all on his own. So we're going to push the bat chat. He does get a nasty shot into me. We're going to try. I don't even know how we didn't do that. We went to go up a hill and didn't even make it. So we're going to chase the bat chat. So the enemy T62 is now gone. So that's one down a tank each. And we're going to chase a bat chat. So a T62 chasing a bat chat. Usually, you're not going to win. If you're trying to chase a bat chat, you're not going to win. But when he comes out in the open like he does, like he has, we've now started to change to Goose in his 140 just to help out our E4. So we do manage to get a shot into him, and the E4 takes Goose out. Now we can again concentrate on the bat chat. So we get one shot into him. Hopefully we're going to circle him. He doesn't pay any attention to us, which means we can clear him up for our first kill. So our team have done the business pretty much. So it's now 4 against 3. So they've worked really, really hard. And the pattern up here is all on his own against an E100. So that is my priority, is to help him out. Help your team out. Don't let him go alone against an E100. 2 tanks is better than 1. So we are both now up here. Now the E100 has some problems, because not only has he got 1 tank to deal with, he's got 2 mediums with quick reload to deal with, and he's not going to last very long. So I get behind him whilst the pattern stays in front. Stupid bounce on the rear of the turret there, but now the pattern does a really good job. He's baiting him. He's not poking out. He's actually shooting a different tank. So, but he's baiting that E100, which meant he didn't want to know me. So we clear him. We've got the Death Star up here. So it's now me and the pattern versus this Death Star. So again, 2 tanks on 1 is better than 1 tank on 1. And he shoots and we can rush him. So the pattern has gone into rushing. I'm not going to rush him, because if the pattern's gone, the Death Star can only look one way, which it's either this way or that way. So E4 manages to take him out, which now just leaves the Jaegeru. So it's now 4 against 1. So we're going to poke forward. We're going to rush forward behind this rock, and we're not even looking for the damage at this point. We're going to get some stupid shots in, just you never know. And we can see him looking at me. So whilst he is looking at me, there's 3 other tanks that can shoot him and get some damage. And that's exactly what happens. He gets bored with looking at me, so he turns and he faces the IS-4, and he does shoot, which meant we can now rush in. So I've had 2 stupid shots that I'm not really aiming, to be honest. I'm just shooting for the fun of it, but it means we can now get behind him. And I do make an error here. I'm thinking he's going to push forward, so I wanted to get behind him, but he changes his mind. So we're going to poke up, we get the bounce, but he also bounces on our turret. So we blocked 1,100 damage there. So mainly just from that Jaegeru on the last. But that's where the turret on this is really, really strong. So we do finish the battle with an ace. It was an ace. 4.9k damage, and we make 25,000 credits. 1,437 XP. So not bad. 1,000 assistant damage, 1,000 block damage, and pretty much 5k damage. So not bad XP, and a not bad ace. So moving on, Master Com, good friend of mine, Sebastian. So we're going to call him Sebastian. He is on mines, and he does a fantastic job. So he's already poked up. He was anticipating the bat chat to push the hill, and that is exactly what happened. So the bat chat now is almost dead, but there's no support. There's 1 medium to support him. There's a Death Star at the back, which he is now focusing on, but the Object 140 on his team is getting deleted, and his team are literally they are all over the place. Fair enough, the E100 has finally come up, but there's a Conqueror E100 all round by cap. So Mastercom, Sebastian decides to go and help these out. There's nothing else for him sitting on top of that hill. So he decides he's going to push around and he's going to try and help these two heavies out as much as he can. But he comes around the corner and again, there's nothing for him. There is nothing for him. There's no shots in. So he goes back to the hill and he's looking for these targets. He doesn't want to just sit there and do nothing. He's looking for the targets. And as soon as the T62A is spotted and the waffle, he was about to go rush him. But then he did think twice. So now the E100 is making a silly move. He's decided to start pushing. But there is a Death Star around there somewhere. And Sebastian knows that. You can see him even sort of aiming in that corner. There's 3 tanks around here. T62A, there is a waffle, and there is an E50M. And there's the Death Star. So the Death Star's now been spotted. He has shot the E100, which meant the waffle makes a big mistake here. He decides to push into the E100, but he doesn't last very long. So he is now gone. So it's now 5 against 4. So he's going to rush into the Death Star. He's going to poke. He knows exactly where he is. He's got the heat loaded, which now there we go. He's changed it to the APCR. He gets a track shot, which means he is going to be kept there. It is now 3 against 4. So he's got a lot of work to do. So he bounces the shot on the Death Star there. So it's now 2 against 4. Death Star literally fluffs it, which meant Sebastian can now rush in and he can get the kill before any other tank comes. So he really wants the kill before the E50 comes. So he gets that kill, and now it's just him versus the E50 at this moment in time. So the other tanks are, I believe, still around the cap area. And now we're just going to see a proper brawl between the E50M and a T62. We're going to see some bounces, we're going to see some circles, and we're going to see some penetrations. So Sebastian is winning in the battle at the moment. He's got a few bounces. He's got the E50 down to 700 HP, and you can just see another bounce there. The E50 gets another bounce, but at this time he needs to take him out because his team have all gone. So it is just him versus 3 tanks. So he needs to take out this E50M without taking much more damage. He gets another bounce there, which means he can circle him and he can set him on fire. So that brawl between that E50, he just lost 700 hit points, which is pretty much 2 shots against that E50M, while he took him out completely full hit points. And he's going to wait, he's going to use the heat, he's going to wait for the E100 to poke up, and he managed to take him out. So he hasn't used much of his hit points, and he has done a fantastic job. And now it is just him versus the IS-7. So he's going to wait. I think he's going to accidentally shoot in front of him. Doesn't mean to do that. But now he needs to know where this IS-7 is. He's not spotted, and he doesn't want to take the first shot. So you can see he's backing up. He's going to wait for the IS-7 to come around the corner, and that's exactly what he does. He tracks him, and now he's on the move. He's going to circle him, and there is nothing the IS-7 can do. So that is pretty much it for this battle. A fantastic battle, a fantastic brawl with the E50. Just goes to show how strong this tank is when you are side hugging, because all the tanks, especially big tanks like the E50M, all they can really see is that turret. But he done a fantastic job. He finished the game. He got himself a Kolobanov, 5.8k damage. Kolobanov there, 4 kills. He makes 60,000 credits, 1,579 XP, 500 assistant damage, and he got 5 bounces. Pretty much all from the E50M. Now moving on to our last battle. Again, it is Sebastian Mastercom, and it is on Port Bay, and he's going to rush. So the enemy have got 1 medium, his team have 2 mediums. So he's going to do what we pretty much should all do, and he's going to go into the corner. Now this map, if you can take this corner and the enemy come around this way, you can absolutely dominate the battle. Now what happened with me usually You'll get this like once every 100 battles. Usually you come this way, the enemy go towards the port. Now, which is very, very annoying because you get yourself in a good position, you don't get rushed, but there's absolutely nothing you can do. So he has lost a bit of HP already from the pattern, and now there is the Conqueror that's decided to push. So the medium hasn't decided to push. The pattern has actually got himself in a bad position, pretty much in front of all the tanks. But now Sebastian can go and he can get hull down, and he can get some shots out where he is only showing his hull. So you got the Conqueror there. He gets one shot into the Conqueror. He's backing up. He doesn't want to take much more damage because he is only on 800 damage. So what I don't understand about watching, and I noticed about this with both replays that he sent me, he hasn't used his adrenaline like at all. Last battle, he didn't, even when he's circling the E50, I think he did not use that adrenaline, and he doesn't use it here, and I'm not actually sure why. He could have probably saved himself a little bit of HP if he would have just used his adrenaline. Now, I know not everyone are like me. As soon as that adrenaline comes available, I'm clicking it. If it's available, and it's clicked, mate. It is clicked. But he doesn't use it, but you'll see at the end of the battle, he makes me eat my own words. So Sebastian is still in this original spot. He has still got tanks focusing him, so he's still got the pattern up there. He's still got the E4, the IS7, and he is now spotted. So it's 4 against 5. Having said that, it's now 3 against 5, but there is still a couple of tanks that are really low hit points. Now, the IS7 makes a big mistake and decides to back up, and Seb takes him out. Now, that was a lucky bounce. Lucky bounce, but that is what the T62 can do. When you are angled like he was, you're going to get them bounces. So it's now 3 against 3, and most of his team, so there's 3 of them, they are all one-shots. All 3 of them are one-shots. But the enemy just did not want to take advantage of that. So the Object 268 is now dead, which now leaves this Yag Tiger down here on his own. The E4 takes out the IS7, but Seb can just now focus the Yag Tiger. He gets him down to a one-shot, but the 268 steals the kill. Unluckily for Seb, but he can't moan too much. Now, I have had to skip a little tiny bit of that battle because Seb wasn't happy that he didn't get the kill, so I removed it from the video. It doesn't need to be seen, and it was uncalled for. So now it's just these 2 versus the E4. So both are a one-shot, and the E4 did make his way around or down here by the cap area, but no one is spotted. So they are both one-shots, so they don't want to be the ones to poke out to die. And here now is the E4. So the E4's been spotted. Seb has not quite been spotted just yet. So he's going to go around and he's going to try and get behind. He's now been spotted. So he's going to wait. The E4 now kills the 268. So Seb can now rush into him. And what I was saying before with the adrenaline, he's still not pressed it. And I really don't know why. But that was a lucky miss. The E4 completely missed his shot, and it cost him the game. And Seb can now get behind him or get to the side of him, and he can take him out. So that is the T62. If you haven't got the T62, I think it is a must-have tank in your garage. And there we go, 6.3k damage, 1536 XP. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't got the T62, do go get it because it is amazing. I'll catch you in the next one.